Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Ramirez Forts, and today I'll be speaking about what I've learned while taking Survey of U.S. History Section 342. I want to say it's been a pleasure taking the class. There have been several things I've been able to learn and kind of implement that I'll take you through. This course took me down memory lane from the beginning of America. America has been a place of new beginnings, hope, and wealth. But America has also been a place of hate, manipulation, and suffering. One of the first things I was able to kind of implement and start in my daily life, I took from Jefferson's slogan during his presidential campaign in 1801, and his campaign was Jefferson and Liberty. This liberty was not extended very far and only applied to wealthy white men. He also wrote, "All men are created equal." Those words end up being nothing more than ink on a sheet of paper. I strongly believe just during that time and those words, he didn't really mean what he said and stood behind that. So I started, especially at work, just started to deliver on things that I've told people or said. I get many requests. I'm business operation coordinator at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, so I get many requests from my coworkers for various things as far as things they may need to order, business cards. So before I really I would deliver on it, but it wasn't in a timely manner, and it wasn't to the best of my ability. So I started to really say I don't want to be like some of these guys I read about in history who fail to deliver on things that they promise. I also did a better job even at home by if I tell my kids, hey, I'm going to take you to the park. I'm gonna take you to the park and let you play for an hour, regardless of if I'm tired or if I have schoolwork or even work from my job. I made sure that I delivered on that promise because I see how history shows us how if you say things and don't deliver on it, how it affects people. And I just never wanted to be that guy. Sharecropping was another big thing. I seen how people, once slavery ended, they still technically weren't free. They didn't have the same rights. And with sharecropping, people just proved to be able to overcome just some very difficult times as far as you're sharing a profit with someone, but you never see the financial books. You don't know if you're actually really sharing, if you're getting your equal share of that. And I just seen how parents were able to change their kids' lives to make it better and not let certain circumstances hold them back from that. So, me um, being in school and kind of refocusing myself during this course, based upon just reading on the hard work that I seen those that I read about certain families, having to overcome or being separated during slavery and being able to overcome and make a better life for their kids and their kids. And I mean, I can't trace all the way back, but I would be a representation of that as well. So what I try to do in my everyday life and what I've implemented from this course is just to make try to make my kids' lives better than my life. So give them opportunities I didn't have during the Thanksgiving break. I put my son in a STEM camp for a week, which my father probably would have never done because it was $150 just for 1 week, but or just really for 3 days. But I know that's one of the things that people during that time had to do as far as making sacrifices, doing things that their parents or their grandparents wasn't able to do for their kids. Another thing that I've also seen over this course is just how a word or putting someone in a category can really divide people, and just some horrific things happen just based upon the color of your skin and someone putting you in a box. So after reading through some of the things during the course, I just start telling my kids, don't let people put you in a certain box. You're not based upon the color of your skin or your what people want to call you. You're a human being, and we all are human beings, and we should be treated as such and just love one another. And yes, in the past, white people have done some horrible things to black people, and I mean it still goes on in some forms even today. But I try to just teach. I've been just trying to reinforce to them to always treat people fairly, no matter what their background is. If they're a Muslim walking down the street, and forgive me for not knowing the terms, but if it's a Muslim woman and all you can see is her eyes, not to prejudge her, because someone could actually do the same thing to you and it wouldn't be fair. So just be fair to everyone. Another thing that I've done after just reading, a lot of things in this course I've read about or heard about or seen a movie about, but going through the course kind of took me back through that history. And I actually, at my job, I also run a volunteer program at Hughes Spalding Hospital, in which I actually have a lot of Georgia State students who volunteer. And I remember a kid talking about voting, and was just saying how the presidential vote, and I've made this same mistake myself in the past, but saying that they only vote for the presidential election, but as you can see through history, the president can change things, but similar to when the slaves were freed, the South still didn't honor that. So a lot of changes made at during the local elections, and I kind of reinforced to that volunteer that, hey, I know there's more hype, there's more media around presidential elections, but these local officials affect your daily life more, in my opinion. So just reinforcing that fact, and also the fact that if you are of African descent, and not just African descent, because there were many white people, and I'm quite sure people of other race were who also suffered um, suffered trying to get equal rights for blacks as far as to vote. And I just seen how the discrimination, if you just read upon that discrimination and what they went through, um, if you read it, you really open your heart and receive just everything that was going on during that time and how people suffered just for the right to vote, knowing that you have power in your vote, especially from during a local election. We see um, city of the mayor, city of the mayor of the mayor of Atlanta came down to, I believe, about 700 votes. So if that doesn't show you how every little vote counts, then I don't know what will. Um, and another thing that I've been able to implement is from, believe it or not, from President Trump. He goes about things in the wrong way in my sense. It's just something a little more recent, but I still feel like he doesn't take crap from anybody, and I feel like that taking that, and I shouldn't say I'm way more passive than that. So just adding a little bit of that, not taking crap from people, has kind of helped, because normally I would just wear other people's problems, or I would be that person who tries to come up with a solution, although it's not my problem. So that, I can say, believe it or not, has helped me a lot. I really enjoyed the class. I've learned a lot. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little kind of all over the place, but I tried to take little notes and hit certain points. Thank you for your time, and you have a wonderful day. Thanks.